everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be evaluating the Simic deck that almost won a challenge. This is probably one of the most interesting lists to come out of the new set, with a couple of new cards being the... I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to be honest, but it's a plant worm. At the beginning of combat on your turn, we put X11 counters on each creature you control, where X is that creature's power, and we have a lot of ways to make that creature's power go up. And the other new card that we have in the deck is the Geomorph. This has landfall on it. A land enters, it turns a creature's base power and toughness into a 3/3. So a lot of the smaller creatures will then get kind of a +2 buff at minimum. And then if we have 6 or more lands, which isn't super likely with 23 lands in our deck, but then it gets a 6/6, which can make a lot of things do a lot of damage, especially with a lot of our creatures having flying. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and dive into the games. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we keep, right? Go Paul Patch into Schooner. And Offspring. I still hate that it asked me, but I get it, kind of, because like there's plenty of ways to make free mana and things in a lot of other situations. So we could ask them if they would like to trade, but I doubt it. Let's go the ship. There's probably no way they trade. I'm kind of showing off a card that might be threatening enough that they might want to trade, is kind of the idea. But they don't. Okay. If this is landfall, we could technically get a lot of value here, especially if they tap out for a Mossborn Hydra, Cactar. Here, I guess. Okay. Go here. In turn, we could obviously bring this up and attack, but I don't necessarily think that's good. You didn't enter battlefield turn, return to its owner's hand. So do I even bother with these? Do I just take the 6 and let it happen? Face down card's interesting. Sure. Nice value card, I suppose. Activate here. Okay. Actually, this card has vigilance. It's honestly probably better. I don't know what this could be. My brain is not fully active on that, and I'm not bouncing a card. I don't know what it is. Sure, that one seems good. That one indeed seems good. This has to be something super threatening where I don't just enter the Flood Mullet immediately after. May play this card face down for 3 at 2, has worth 2, turn the face up for Sky's cost, right? Sure. 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 Uh-huh. Yeah, we have to shock this in, unfortunately. Go here. Then bring this up. This is at the beginning of combat, so we don't really have a reason that we have to attack with it if we don't want to. Then, honestly, I'm probably just passing here. Again, these get put away, so it's kind of whatever. This is fine. There's only a sorcery and a creature, so it still needs 2 types where it's ever really a problem. Ivar. Okay. Interesting stuff going on so far. Not really Sure what's happening. I had to pick those back up, I guess. Cactars are... They're doing something. Another Into the Flood Maw. Honestly, now I kind of feel comfortable enough to crew this up and attack out a bit. Now these things are going to be massive and threatening lethal pretty much. Obviously not fully threatening lethal, but pretty darn close. And with double bounce spell, I feel pretty okay. And then this is also on the back burner, right? So. And then here. They let all that damage happen, which seems crazy to me, but. Sure, I mean, I'll take any spell at this point. And 8-9 is kind of here. Still, the options in their graveyard aren't great, so this is never really doing much. Sure. That's like still not enough. I still don't know what this card could be. I'll even give you a fish, dude. It just like doesn't matter. I do get to see though. I think you legally would have to reveal the face down card. What is it? This card. Okay, yeah. No wonder why I couldn't think of what it was. Disguise cost of 5. They were just now able to flip it. All right, cool. Well, we take that one, I guess. Very cool. Are we allowed to keep this? I don't feel like we're allowed to keep this. I'm gonna keep it. Typical me, dude. That's a card. What is that? All right. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Back in there, little buddy. Go for 2 right now. What? What is the brew? The brew, that's for sure. Alright. Alright. Sure. Got an answer for this one? 7 mana? Alright. I also don't really have a land, I guess. I now have a land, so now we feel pretty good. And this also adds vigilance, so it's not really going to get affected by a tap creature, so that's pretty solid. And then I feel like I might as well... So I want to... They didn't activate it the first time. Might as well do this. I do have an Into the Flood Maw, so it's just okay with us. Alright. We keep hitting lands. I mean, 1 mana draw a card for pretty much free is sick, obviously. Starting Town unfortunately enters tap for them. That's pretty tragic. And No More Lies could be a thing, huh? This gives him so much value. Yeah, I'm not even going to play into it. Going to keep attacking for my 3/4. I will play into it with the Sentinel alone. Alright. Maybe a Day of Judgment coming up the pipeline. Hopefully not, though. We leave these maps to use for the Drowner. Okay. So they missed a land drop on the last couple of turns, and this is probably not going to have a lot of value to be had. So I'm just going to go ahead and barrel that and tell them to put it back. And now I think here is the perfect opportunity to play this and maybe rush the situation. No land, please. Or an untapped source wouldn't be awful. Flash effects against the control opponent's pretty good. Hit them for 10. Down to 3, of course. And then we get to, honestly, they wiped the board. I guess I just have this land to attack them, right? So it doesn't really matter. Going first, we have a Landwar Elves, so we can slam on one, and then if we rip a 3-drop, we obviously have that available. If not, we can just go ahead and get the Vine stock down. And it's not necessarily a big deal. We'll see. Starting town, a lot of options available. Storm Chasers talent. A second Landware Elves, okay. I mean, I guess I should go ahead and do this. And then we're probably looking to Flood Maul something here. I would assume this is like a bounce deck. The Esper bounce deck that's going around with the new white card that cares about double spelling. So hard to tell with double starting town though. Sure. No. Uh-huh. Sure. It's kind of crazy that I can't even play this card. Not bad, I guess. Here's 2 damage. And honestly, the craziest part is this damage right here matters a ton because of their mana they have. Alright, so it is bounce. Sure. That makes sense to me. But assume we're going to see a double attack here after a Storm Chaser's talent drop. And then my plan, more than anything, most likely is to bounce their last token they have, like this token here. Bouncing it. And then playing this land, playing the Curiosity, and double drawing. That's kind of my plan. If both my Landware Elves obviously stick. We'll see though. Ah, brutal. That does make it intense. It does make it definitely a lot harder. Now their whole shenanigan plan is going awry for them. So now we have options. Do we save ourselves the life? Yeah, because it doesn't really matter what I do. Kind of just need to answer tokens as we can. I mean, that also helps a lot, I would assume. All right, Landware Elves, would you like to just grow every turn? No, we'll wait a turn, I think. Or do we have this Bushwhack fight something? Honestly, probably. Why they can't really do anything about it. Kieran or Pixie? I guess if they ever pick up a Pixie, it's significantly worse for them. We make that fight there. Obviously, it's a little bit reduced. Nowhere to Run could come in, but it doesn't answer it by itself. So that's also pretty awesome. Stock Up coming in. Probably going to find a land, and they need a permanent to leave the battlefield for the 1 card to be relevant. If my big green guy gets to stay around another turn, these Landware Elves become 4/4s. And quite frankly, I think the opponent's in a lot of trouble if that does come to fruition. There's also a chance that I'm supposed to do the Vine Stock, but is this attackers or blockers? How's this? What is this? When this creature attacks. Okay, so this is before combat. This is attack, so it doesn't necessarily get to make that into... I guess with the counter on it, it would go up to 1 plus, that would be 2. I guess the 1 goes away, right? So it would start at 6, putting 6 counters on it and the other Landware Elves. The shock. It's an elf. It's an offspring. It's a loaded board. Into the Flood Maul, able to get rid of some stuff. Down. Again, offspring up. No pause here, which is great for us. And then it's kind of a decision whether we play this or Bristly Bill. I guess honestly it's probably Bristly Bill, right? Because that allows us to get our value every single turn, where this is just a temporary buff. Bristly Bill's more of a permanent buff. Landware Elf tap. Oh, I guess it didn't matter, right? We go here, we go here. Bristly Bill goes in. Might as well pump this for now. I could have played this if I would have maybe played my cards right. Do I want to bounce this? I guess so, because it's just such a good tempo play. Why would I not, right? Or I could play this and establish more of a threat. Or I can just get in for 4. Nah, I think I play this. I'm definitely kind of maybe messed up. Let's just pass. I got a big loaded board here. I can't do anything on their turn, so Flood Maul's a bit worse. Kind of why I was holding. Maybe a Sephiroth comes in or something. But then it obviously eats up the tokens, but we can actually make sure we remove the tokens so they're not going to get through a combat with it. Okay. Fair enough. Interesting. If we do like this. Like, sure, he gets larger, right? And now he can be popped. Now he's up to 5. But, what do you do about, like, this? Can't imagine as much. Alright, well, why not? Get in there. Double #1 counters on each creature you control. Well, I have none, so quite funny. This is more of like if I ripped a really good card that we all know we need to rip. I can never remember its name. The new 4-drop that puts counters across the board. Obviously, having as wide of a board is going to be the better solution. I guess with voice gone, I probably could have waited on my Into the Flood Maul. Now they're back. Okay. Up to 3. What do I want it to be? I guess 1 Landware Elf can do it. Or then I might as well put another counter on a different Landware Elf. No, it needs to be on you. Combat. I should have just put it on, I guess, my other trampler, right? Oh, wait, I'm supposed to attack with it anyway. Oops. That's why I didn't put it on the other trampler. Duh. Can I activate abilities? Can't cast spells. Okay, sure. Yeah, I definitely needed to do that because then it's like a lethal attack. Or maybe not lethal, but it's dang close. Sure. I'll say you can attack if you'd like. Voice gone again. I understand these get counters and stuff, but at the same time, you're going to get it anyway because creatures are going to die anyway, right? So. You pretty much have really good draws no matter what happens. Also, my flyer is going to be pretty devastating here. Now it's all going to trigger again. We have to do this. We got to close. Oh! Okay, bucko. Yeah, I think that does it. Could be wrong. So they block the biggest 3. Block, block, block. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 8? You're telling me you're not lethal? That's absurd. It is not a lethal attack here. How is that so, right? I've had a lethal attack, but no, because then I would have lost 2 more creatures. 5. Block, 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 block. 2. Yeah, it's 8. It's literally not enough. That's crazy to me. Although I don't think the get lost really helps him much. Also, it's because get lost obviously has a target now. Maybe they can gain a lot of life. Who really knows? Voice number 3 can't really save them. Obviously, chump blocks here on these landware elves can do a lot of good work. Or just maybe like overall blocks. Door line, okay. Pang, maybe bring back a voice. However, here with Bristly Bill, all the counters are going to get doubled. So I have to kind of do the math. Would doubling be better? Then this would go to 2, put 2, or would it be go to 2, go to 4? I guess it doesn't matter because it's just power, right? So we could put this to 3, and then that would put 3 counters across. Or if I double it, it goes to 3, and it still puts 3 across. Is that right? Is that how that math works? I don't know. Now they do have a lethal attack, technically. It's a bit of a tough one. That's why I'm kind of letting this ride out. You also have to remember our Vinestalk can attack. Take a damage to give that flying. We get to combat. The get lost is... I mean, this is happening. I'm not stopping this. Sure. No blocks. You have it. You have it. I can't imagine there's a world where you don't. And they don't let me do the whole turn. Okay. Unfortunate. I wish they would have let me play the land, put the counter here, double the counters, and then put the counters across the board. So we could really see like an absolutely absurd turn. This is one of those weird ones where it's kind of like I could play the traditional plan. These obviously don't help that much. But if I just find lands, I'm going to be in trouble. This is a Kona deck, so I'm probably getting slammed regardless. If I had to guess. Most of the time I've seen this so far, it's been a Kona deck, and it's not particularly close. Landware Elves, I mean, I guess I can fight that. Not stationing there is a bit interesting. Play here, activate here. Guess I can station at any point, right? We hit another land. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, team. That's basically a loss in my book. We'll let them do it. I should fight this, but maybe they won't have Kona. Not, we're probably getting Omniscience on turn 3. Yeah. Imagine you have a card like Starting Town, where if it's your 3rd land, you like do the thing. Yep. I'll let them do it. I mean, I kept a 4-land hand. It drew 2. I should have just mauled knowing that that's how that was going to work. Oh. Problem is I still can't. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Arena's going to do arena things, man. We keep a 4-land hand. We draw 3 lands and a bushwhack that does nothing. So, yeah, I'll just move on. Obviously, no game to be really played there. All right. All right. Opponent's first here. We can try this hand. It seems like it should be good, but who knows? 3 lands after the 4-lander. Maybe we won't get there. Okay. Play Landware Elves. Landware Elves always changes the math because now I can offspring this, and that's obviously a lot better. Emberheart Challenger, sure. Obviously, no block here. Go into this. We offspring here. Makes any target obviously not that great. If we rip a land, we are kind of astronomically in the clear because, again, in matchups like this, Mono Red has lost its by far best card, even though now Screaming Nemesis is a big deal that they get to play. No blocks. The opportunity's still there. And the breeding pool comes down, so pay 2 life, play here, and now we just start building up a wall. I just hold because we only really need a turn. I can play Siren, I can activate map, save this, and then maybe we can even just one-shot them there. Here, but could have maybe played it different too, where we played Siren, play the Drowner, tap a thing, slick shot in the air, and a Bolt Wave, sure. If they attack out here, it's definitely a good chance that we can just win. I was on the play and I played my land, correct. So we can go one of 2 ways. Obviously, this block can just happen. What are the odds? So this is going to go up kind of regardless, right? So we're going to put 4. We're going to put 2 more toughness on everything. So it's going to be 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And if the map works, I win. Sure. On to 3. A land found. Hopefully we're good. Let's see it. That should do it. You just have to learn to count to 20. And that's definitely 20. Just like that. Save herself and just one-shot mono red. Now, could you imagine that game if they had Monstrous Rage? Because, let's be honest, they always had Monstrous Rage. So, I mean, I would have lost. But, because they don't have the most broken 1-mana red pump spell ever printed, it feels like. I know it's not ever, but it is what it is. Okay, so how do we feel about it? Especially in best of 1. Because obviously best of 3, doing well in a challenge can be one of 2 things, right? 1, you have a pretty good solid sideboard that worked out well for the meta. 2, the meta wasn't really prepared for you. Or 3, you just kind of get lucky on a very good stretch day. If you played Arena or Magic long enough, sometimes it just doesn't matter what you do. You just end up winning the game. But the same happens the opposite, where like no matter how well you think you played, and anybody could watch your game and be like, you played that as well as you could have, you just lost. Like, it just happens, right? So this deck, I started off 0-3. I closed Arena, took a lap around the house, went and did something else. I was losing my mind. I came back, I sat back down, and then we went on a pretty good stretch of games. There was one game I lost that we saw where I just drew land after land. We do play, like, we play 23, and to have 7 lands in our top 13 is pretty unlikely most of the time. That's why it only happened 1 out of 6 games or 7 games I ended up playing. I might have lost another one where it was just like on the draw, just some I think. Yeah, I think it was the same game. And I play a lot of Magic sometimes, and I just get all my games messed up. But either way, I think this deck is honestly a testament to how good Land War Elves is and how good it can make a lot of other things. For example, getting this in play on turn 2 or Offspring the Recruit on turn 2 is very, very good. And if you can get something like the Xenomorph going or a Bristly Bill, and then you can play a land, because again, you remember Land War Elves can cast Bristly Bill first, and then you can play a land, put a counter on a thing. You just get a lot of good things happening very quickly. I do think this is a deck that will be solid for a while and then most likely die off. I could be wrong about that take. Been wrong about takes before and what decks can be good and what decks can't. For example, the one Simic deck that I played where it had like the beans. Now, obviously, a lot of cards got banned that the deck was playing, but I played like Beanstalk and this town, and I played the big creatures. And every time I played the deck, I ended up just winning a lot, so it always felt great. I think it's the same when you look at other creators on their kind of favorite deck. I would say like Mythic Mike on Skeletons typically has good success. Ash on that Simic Cookies deck always seemed to just play way above its bar. That's just because that was their passionate deck they were about, at least at the time. So they tend to play better with it. This is a deck that it feels so weird. We have so many 3-ofs in a lot of spots where the 3-ofs feel like, in most decks, if you have a lot of 3-ofs that aren't maybe legendary, for example, like the Nameless City or kind of the Xenomorph, these aren't legendary, so it's kind of weird to see 3, and that oftentimes leads to the fact that it's just kind of some indecision on what cards we actually want to play and how many we actually want to play. It feels like more of a test than whatever that did well regardless, right? Or a situation where they're like, I want to fit in 2 Bristly Bills. I would like to play 3, maybe less or maybe more. Our Enduring Curiosity is so good. But again, obviously having 23 lands, you can see limitations up here because of that, because you don't obviously want to overload on 4 drops with a low land count. And the same with kind of the 3 drops. So then the 2 drops become a little awkward. You can already just 3 drop. But in terms of rares and mythics and stuff, that's kind of what I was sorting it out for. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily that great either. However, most likely the Paul Patches are most likely crafted for any player, and Enduring Curiosity is most likely crafted for any player. So you then kind of have to evaluate whether these are worth it or not. Obviously, lands I kind of always recommend, especially the fact that Breeding Pool is going to be legal for a very long time. I always recommend crafting your mana base for the kind of archetype you like the most. If it's blue-black, then just get the mana base, and then you can kind of work on other mana bases until then. Because any type of card in here could be rotate or swap. For example, if you have 4 of these for some reason, just go to 4, go down to 2. See, I don't even have 4 of these. But then it'll like microly be worse, maybe, right? But it also functions still because your mana base is solid. So with that, that's all I kind of got. That was a kind of rambling outro a bit, but I don't even know if anybody really watches the outro and the thought process, but I kind of do it for that one person who might be, at the end of the day, maybe values the opinion, even though obviously I'm not a pro player or anything. So maybe go watch Arnie. He has a pretty good YouTube channel where he plays, and he's made the Pro Tour quite a lot out of Germany, I believe. But yeah, with that said, I hope you all enjoy, and I'll catch you next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.